Hello again, it's Mr. RG Stuff here. Now, I've been letting the post build up, and although I keep saying that I don't buy much online, because of the ongoing pandemic, I have. And I bought a few things on eBay, and to be honest, I'm not even 100% sure what's here. I think I know what's here. But let's open them and see what they look like. Right, what have we got in here? Well, there we go. So that's a little sound box. If you've been following my videos, you will have seen that I've done quite a bit of sound boxes recently. I don't really know why I bought this one. I think it's because it was cheap. It had been kicking around on eBay for a week or two, and it was quite cheap, but not really cheap. And then the vendor put the price down, and I thought, oh, why not? Let's buy it. It might be useful. Interestingly enough, it's got the same sort of arrangement at the back as the last sound box I bought, in so much that there's no pin, there's just a hole, and the hole is at a somewhat odd angle. So anyway, that's that one. Try this one next. Right, I will of course recycle all the cardboard. So, what's this one? Right, well this is a proper little box. So what do we got here? I wonder which way it opens. Oh, that's clearly the bottom there. Right, okay, actually hinges. So, another little sound box. And this is actually somewhat similar to the one I bought and did a video about fairly recently. It's got the same sort of layered back, where the throat bit that goes onto the tone arm is actually sandwiched between two rubber bits, and I think that's quite a neat design. Now this is well, again, it's got a sort of plain tube at the back, or throat at the back, to go onto a tone arm. There's no pin, in fact there's no hole on this one either. It's the same diameter as that. It's probably, I'm going to guess it's 19mm. Let's check this one. Yeah, that's 19mm. That's a little bit bent, but it's somewhere around 19mm. There's clearly a lot about gramophones I don't know, because up until I bought that last sound box, I thought everything pretty much had a HMV style, either sort of 17 or 19mm mount with a pin, but these clearly don't. Now, this one appears to be completely unmarked. It's actually quite light. I think it's probably aluminium. It's not in the best of condition. This one feels heavier, and although it's very difficult to see, I think there is actually some writing on the back there, and maybe with a bit of cleaning that will come up. The outside, I say chrome work, it's probably nickel work, is actually in pretty good condition for the most part, apart from where it goes onto the tone arm. Anyway, so let's just have a look at the box. The box is a little bit odd as well. So yeah, you may note that the box is clearly not for this particular sound box. And as it would happen, because I saw the box on eBay, I realised that I actually had a sound box. This one here, this little Songster one, which is actually very similar. In fact, it might even be the same. So this box here may well fit in here. I mean, obviously lots of sound boxes would, but that's probably the way that would have been originally. And the funny thing is that I assumed that the gramophone that this came on was the gramophone it belonged to, but the more I've learned about that particular gramophone, and that will feature in a future video, I don't think this is actually the original sound box for that one anyway. So it's a fair chance it has been swapped, and what I think's happened here is at some point in the past this sound box has been taken off, it's been replaced by one of these, and this has just been put back in the box and put away for 70 odd years. This happens actually, interesting enough, with PC components, things like graphics cards. If you are into things like that and you go around car boot sales and find graphics cards, quite often the graphics card that's in the box is not the graphics card that the box actually is for. And it's for the same reason. People take the old card out, put it in the box, and then put the new card in the machine. And then the old card and the new box just stay together after that. Anyway, for the minute, we'll put that one back in there. And we'll move on. So what have we got here? Well, now that, you may be able to see, is actually an Edison Bell sound box, and it's an Edison Bell Winner Super sound box, and it is, as far as I'm aware, the correct sound box for the Edison Bell Handyphone that I bought at a car boot sale very recently. Now that machine was very cheap because it's in a very poor condition. This sound box from eBay was not very cheap, and it seems to be pretty much identical. I did check the sort of bezel. In fact, I'll dig that out in a minute and we can have a closer look. The only difference, in fact, let's just check the dimensions. The seller said it was 19mm, and indeed it is 19mm, so that should fit just fine. This one actually has a little screw just there, which is not going to be compatible with the tone arm on the Edison Bell, so I'll just have to remove that. So this was clearly fitted to a different model of Edison Bell, but I think it's probably the closest sound box I'm going to find. Obviously it needs rebuilding. You can see the gaskets are falling out. In fact, all of these sound boxes need rebuilding, but particularly there you can see that the gaskets are coming loose. So yeah, so I'll just grab the Edison Bell bits now and we'll just do a quick compare. So this is the bezel for the sound box that was originally with the Edison Bell Handyphone. I think what happened was that the previous owner took all the metal bits off to send them off for nickel replating, and clearly just in the whole process the rest of the sound box just got lost, because I got basically the machine with all the nickel plated parts but nothing really put back together again. So based on some videos, or a video on YouTube, this appears to be the right sound box, and indeed the bezel is very, very similar. So I'm reasonably sure that's a good match. And this is the tone arm for that machine, and as you can see, it's just a sort of almost like a spring fitting. It's just some slots in there, and this is actually very slightly smaller than 90mm, and the idea being this just sort of pushes on, and you can see it pushes on just fine. It's just going to need that little screw removed there, and that will be fine. So yeah, I better put the Edison Bell Handyphone back together again now I've spent good money on a sound box. But I mean, any of these sound boxes would have done. I mean, this one here, this was, I think, the cheapest. I mean, you know, I'm not going to force it, but that would go on. I mean, it would. And the one I did a video on previously, that fitted the tone arm as well. So yeah, okay. Now I will probably do some tests at some point. Now the previous set of tests I've done, I can't do any more of, because I've had a move around of furniture and my gramophones aren't in the same place and my camera bracket is no longer there. So I'm going to have to sort out some new way of doing testing. But these sound boxes will get some sort of test at some point. And obviously the Edison Bell, I will do some videos about that and hopefully get the whole thing back together and running again nicely. Okay, well that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Mr. RG Stuff. Thank you.